Hello, everybody. Hello, my cosmic baddies and mystical mavens. Everybody, I'm so excited to be recording about this upcoming full moon in Libra. This energy is not tied into an eclipse, and it's kind of making us feel a little bit vibracious, a little bit more harmonious, a little bit more centered. Currently, we have the energy of Mercury direct, and I believe Venus direct as well. So this Libra energy should be used to our absolute benefit. And many of you are probably wondering, how can I use this energy? What can I do to tie this energy of alignment and movement and center of new harmonious activities as it is to occur on April 12th at 8:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this moon is in 23 degrees, and 23 degrees is a degree that is known for, some might say, judgment and also a critical energy. So this full moon in Libra is about balance in relationships and justice. So this would definitely be a time to look at areas of relationships as it is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, beauty, harmony, and also be centered around creating areas of self-care, some cosmic, I guess you could say, magic around beauty, and some energy around partnerships. All the partnerships that are feeding your energy. This is also to look at the judgment of the partnerships that are not feeding your energy, as justice will prevail. So it's definitely a time to be a little bit more realer than you would on maybe a center around something more seen as a spiritual or area around the conscious, but more have an awareness about that energy of balance with the self, as this area of opposition is occurring with the area of Aries. So the key themes in this full moon in Libra is the partnerships, the romantic, the platonic, the professional, the career. What's interesting, I would say I've noticed in the last couple of days, I feel like people are kind of getting a little feisty, and they're like fighting. They're like fighting with each other. I don't know if it's just the tension from the retrogrades ending or what it is, but there just has been some tension where everybody's like, wow, that cat energy is really coming out. That feistiness, that ooh, maybe we're friends, maybe we're frenemies, maybe we're not, either one. Also with this moon, besides looking at relationships, we're going to be looking at areas of balance and boundaries. Where are these relationships affecting us on an emotional balance? And also, are they truly making us happy? So this can even count for friends, right? Sometimes we're in friendships, and friendships might feel a little competitive. And I will say that there is like this healthy nature about some competition, but when you feel like this competition is coming from that area of jealousy, or this competition could be coming from an energy that doesn't honor your spirit, it doesn't honor who you are as an individual, it's time we're going to really look at that area of judgment and also justice with this relationship. And is it really feeding our soul? Also with the Venus influence, we're going to dive into the area of beauty. That could be with art, that could be with creative elements of being centered around a nice dance, as it is around that air sign. We're also going to want to take up space. Maybe it's indulging in new centers around self-care, expressing yourself, your fashion, feeling a little bit more creative in how it is that you do this. Another thing, when we are looking at that Libra charm and that Libra energy, we have to remember that everything about that harmonious movement that air sign of the Libra, of that cardinal movement brings, is aligned with that area of communication, balance, and having a diplomatic approach, seeing not just your side, taming it down from that Aries energy, that area of self, and in balancing the area of resolution harmoniously by having communication. So we are going to want to be concentrated on that open dialogue, especially as Mercury is no longer retrograde. And we're going to want to speak our truth. We're going to kind of smooth that layer of if there is any conflict over. So when we are centered around the area of judgment, we're going to look to see, is this conflict worth, I guess you could say, having a resolution that's peaceful where the relationship continues? Or is it time to say no more and close that chapter and allowing your truth to move on gracefully, right? We're going to allow that area of the Libra to allow a beauty to it, where if we are closing certain chapters, to have that grace, that classic feel, right? We want to keep it classy. We don't want to be over here king cars as that Aries sun might be enticing us. Well, we don't want to get arrested or anything. It is a full moon. So we're going to allow that beauty of that Libra area of being a little bit diplomatic, being a little bit, as one might say, more poetically, politically correct, and having that awareness that doesn't allow us to live in just our solar plex energy, not to be so fiery. And the area of justice and fairness and balance always comes from the area of boundaries. So it is a sign that we are going to definitely seek areas of illumination and areas of seeing where there are certain injustices, certain areas that aren't balanced, certain areas that could affect not just you, but also the collective. And how does this play out, right? So you might be feeling like you want to ruffle some feathers as this Aries sun is getting you a little bit more potent in your area of advocating for the right thing, right? The rightness, the fairness, the area of leadership, the area of being the peacemaker in this cosmic chaos that a lot of us might be feeling, and allow us to kind of tame it down with some air work, breathing work, allowing that area to move in, that energy to move in to. It might spice us up a little bit as, we have that sun in Aries, but allowing that area of balance to really understand that there is an area of fairness, judgment, and justice. I will say, with a Libra full moon, that's not tied into retrogrades, that's not tied into eclipses at the moment, this would be a moment that you would want to do some type of justice magic, some type of judgment magic, where you are seeing that people may have put judgment onto you, and now you are allowing that justice to come into its full era. We have to remember that hexing and bane is a little bit different if there is no energy around justice. Justice allows the energetic movement to create that energetic alignment that makes it a little bit more harmonious. Things that we could do in this Libra full moon, if we are talking about rituals, would definitely be to write a list of the relationships that make you feel aligned in the energy of balance, that allow you to feel peace, that allow you to feel confident, that allow you to feel not just that, but beautiful, loved. And if you notice that your relationships, some of them aren't allowing that, then you're going to want to look at the relationships that aren't allowing that balance. And you're going to see, is it time to release that relationship? A releasing spell or a justice spell, like I said, would be very powerful at this moment, right? Letting go of the areas of fear and also the areas of confrontation, right? Sometimes our biggest fear is confronting how we truly feel. Our biggest fear is bringing up that energy of communication. So we're going to allow ourselves to release that energy. I would definitely say do some mirror magic. I'm a huge fan of mirror magic. Definitely self-love affirmations, beauty type of work, areas of mirror magic around confidence building, around understanding how beautiful you are, creating something, definitely dressing up during this full moon energy. This is not a time that we are going to be looking a little frumpy. We're going to want to put on a dress. We're going to want to put on something like our best pair of jeans. We're going to want to feel confident on this full moon. In Libra, we're going to want to get glammed up, feel beautiful, do our skincare routine, really allow that beautiful moment of what it is that we have to be shown to the world and be shown to ourselves. So before you get all dolled up, right, you're going to take in some affirmations that allow you to have that confirmation and that area of confidence. Get glammed up, feel beautiful, allow yourself to feel that energy of the Venus, and then do your mirror magic. Talk to yourself. Mirror magic, when it is done right, it's almost like a very out-of-body experience. It feels like an awakening. It almost feels like you are soul shifting. You see that reflection of yourself. You see that energy of yourself. You look into your eyes and you feel that power. You feel that confidence of the words you are saying. If you aren't ready for mirror magic, you're definitely going to want to journal. Open up your best journal. Write where it is that you feel the energy of peace, how it is that you are keeping that energy of beauty aligned with you, how you are keeping that energy of balance aligned with you, and allow yourself to put it in written words. Also, we have to remember that this energy is very receptive. It is very centered around the energy of movement. It is a masculine energy. We are in a masculine energetic movement as we are centered around the yin energy, the receptive movement of the energy of the Libra. Also, the area of being dominant is a masculine energy. So this dominance is centered around emotions, maybe emotions being high, times really feeling tense as we are centered with the Aries sun. So we not just have the masculine energy of the Aries sun, we also have the masculine energy of the Libra, allowing this energy to really sometimes seek in areas of making us feel uncomfortable. And sometimes when we do feel uncomfortable, there is something that is centered around understanding the consciousness and the awareness behind it, understanding how it is that we could create that balance and alignment with areas of justice, especially as this Libra is centered around 23 degrees. 23 degrees, every time I see it, it does feel very critical. It feels very flavorful. It blends quite nice with the consciousness that the Libra brings, the area of balance and transformation. It feels like a double-edged sword in some ways, because if we aren't ready to be centered with that confrontation of where the balance is not working, where that area of partnerships feels unfair, sometimes it can be very hard for us to do. But the Libra is the core area of beauty. It is also the core area of having that energy of being tied into this late degree, especially past 20. Anytime we're at a degree in astrology that's past 20, it's considered mature. It is considered to have evolved. So this energy around 20 is allowing us to evolve into the area of self that is aligned with balance, aligned with harmony, and allowed with the area of equality. This is not a time that we're going to be sugarcoating shit. We're going to be making stuff feel a little bit nicer. We're not going to put so much honey and so much sugar in the tea. We want to feel that bitterness. We want to feel those herbs. We want to take it in and speak that truth, speak that area of alignment that we've been holding back on, right? That we've been centered away from because we don't want to feel uncomfortable. So we're definitely going to allow that uncomfortability to be a little bit more dominant. Also with the energy of 23 degrees in Libra, there might be some bold expressions. Energy of the messengers might come through that area that signals new arising transformation, that energy that feels like a tug and a pull and a movement. We have to remember that when we are this bold and we are this dominant and we are this area of assertiveness, at times might feel a little bit unsensitive to others' feelings, but we are going to allow that area to really kind of maintain a movement. We're going to also restore that energy of balance and balance with ourselves. So if you are a people pleaser, and you know that you're a people pleaser, it's going to be time that you see that passiveness kind of want to speak up. That energy of passive might feel a little bit passive aggressive. So definitely have that area of where you are doing the shadow work. Definitely have that area where you understand you don't need to be passive aggressive. You need to be assertive and standing firm on your values and your areas of justice, of your areas of balance and movement that is fair in this area of love and war, as some might say. Also with this Libra area, it definitely will climax in certain relationships. We'll see it. And many of us will be yearning to speak our truth, especially in areas of relationships. So definitely take it with a grain of salt. You're going to want to protect yourself, protect your energy, because some people might not be able to balance and align their chakras like you. So definitely have that area of awareness where you are centered around more of having a refinement, transformation, seeing the next step of the puzzle and allowing that movement to be centered. The chakras, definitely with this energy of Libra and a full moon, would definitely be the heart chakra, that energy of the air element, that energy of movement, also the throat chakra, the energy of sound and of movement of sound. I also would say that this would be a time to incorporate the root chakra as well, because we want that balance. We want that earth-like sense where we might be feeling a little chaotic. We might be feeling a little bit more centered around movement, but really understanding the layers of activation of this energy. Another thing with the heart chakra is with the heart chakra that a lot of people sometimes forget is that we have to balance our boundaries. We have to see that our heart activation needs boundaries. It needs sometimes guidance. It needs area of connection, compassion, trust, worthy, self-confidence, all the stuff that the Libra really activates and allows us to bring in. So this is a time to really look at your relationships, also look at your partnerships. Where are they rooted from? Were they rooted from an area of chemistry only? And then that area of communication is lacking. See where it is that you could bring that more emphasis in it. I definitely think that this would be a good time to practice some energy around the sacral chakra as well. If that is intimacy magic, or as some would say, sex magic, this was definitely a time to do that, especially with a Libra full moon, that area of beauty and desire. I would definitely work on an altar that felt very centered around beauty, reds, soft pinks, light blues, pastel colors, that area of almost like a old time era of the goddesses, right? And allowing that femininity in this energy of masculine to be fully embraced, with you being honest with your own desires, your own areas of movement. Definitely you're going to want to be centered around breath work and yoga positions that feel aligned to the energy of taking in big air elements. So the cobra, the upward dog, and being centered around being aligned with the sacral as well, and the solar plex. But we're not going to concentrate too much on the solar plex. It's going to be mostly focused on the energy of the heart chakra and the throat chakra and a little bit of the root chakra as well. So definitely some tapping. If you ever thought about tapping the energy and doing some breath work right around the energy of the heart chakra, feeling your fingertips at the balance of the heart chakra as you are taking in and releasing those breaths would be something that you could do during this moon. Also with the throat chakra, we are going to definitely want to incorporate humming, trusting your truth, speaking your truth, and understanding that area of shift of where we can keep the peace by also communicating and being centered around the energy of your own personal power as well. I know some people definitely want to get centered around the solar plexus chakra, but we have been very tied into the solar plexus chakra as we are in Aries season. So I'm saying that is a chakra we could work with, but I wouldn't concentrate. I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket with that solar plex. A lot of us already have our dominance, our assertiveness down to some format where I really want us to be centered around the energy of communication, the energy of personal breath work, also the energy of movement. So for journal prompts, you could light a light candle. I definitely would like a white, pink, light candle, but definitely everybody who practices magic has their own ways, their own spells, their own rituals. You would look at areas of where are you sacrificing your peace at? Is your peace being interrupted? Is somebody interrupting your peace? How can you eliminate that? Look at the energy of harmony to bring in there. Understanding that some of the truths have to be spoken, and we shouldn't be afraid to understand that these truths need to be spoken, and allowing yourself to call in the partnerships that are rooted with balance, honesty, and unconditional love. So a lot of self-reflection and a lot of areas of meditation for this full moon. I'm going to do a quick reading for the fire signs. If you are a fire sign, you are an Aries. You are also a Sagittarius and a Leo. So the card that I have is speaking that it's time to definitely go back, ground, nest, get comfortable, nourish yourself, feed back into yourself, mend that broken heart, mend that low confidence, address the areas of insecurities that have been hitting you. Be centered around understanding that we all have our traumas, we all have our movements that have hurt us, but it's time to nourish ourselves, take care of ourselves, and also really practice the energy of movement, of being tied into deep breath work, and also allowing ourselves to exhale old energies that have been weighing us down. We might need to get very, very truthful with some relationships, if it could be family, friends, whoever, who have hurt us, and how are we going to allow this justice to prevail. Also, the justice should not be centered with hate, but should more be centered around healing. That is for the fire signs. The deck that I am using is the Light Seers Tarot deck. So this is a tarot reading. For the water signs, definitely a lot of celebration is coming. It's time for you to speak because good things around you. Build that confidence. Be centered around the passion. Be centered around the movement, the confidence. You already have a lot of solar plex and sacral energy with you. This would definitely be a good time to write intentions around the moon that seems centered around new positivity around your life, and also understanding that there are people here to guide you. There's people here to help you. There are people here to have strong relationships with. So if that means trusting more, allowing this area of working with your creative space to really feel awakened, and I want you to do that. I want you to be centered with your passions, your solar plex, the energy of movement, seeing that movement come and allowing the heart chakra to take it in, allowing you to create boundaries and guidelines that work for you and work with the energy of trust and and work with the movement of alignment. And that is for the water signs. If you are a water sign, you are a Pisces, you are a Cancer, and you are a Scorpio. For the earth signs, if you are an earth sign, you are probably a Virgo, Capricorn, or a Taurus. I feel like you've been through a lot. You've definitely been through a lot of lessons. Maybe it's been kind of challenging for you. And there's times that we're going to let that emotional vulnerability really, really take in. We're going to allow that emotional energy to move forward, to be tied into not just who we are, but allowing the new movement, that new energy of transformation. There's definitely people who have done you wrong, hurt your heart, hurt your heart chakra, and I see that. I also see that there's time for you to repair that heart chakra energy, repair with boundaries and self-confidence. Definitely work around the self-confidence, the boundaries, and trusting. A lot of root chakra energy with this as well. Also, I feel like there is a peace, there is an energy of grief that really needs to take place. If you haven't allowed that grief to take place, you haven't allowed the ugly cry, the emotional breakdown, allow it to. Release it. Release any old cords or attachments that you've been holding on to. Allow it to exhale out of your body in this full moon in Libra. For the air signs, if you are an air sign, you are an Aquarius, you are a Libra, and you are a Gemini. You are very, very, very centered in a good energy right now. I feel like the energy of harmony is with you. The energy of balance is with you. The energy of breath work is with you. But you can step it up just one more notch. I would definitely work on mirror magic, understanding your true capability, the energy of intuition, and allowing that energy to intensify in who you are, your area of movement. I also want you to work with your crown chakra. Definitely, I see a lot with the sacral chakra in this card, but the crown chakra and the upper chakras are speaking to me as well, where this lets me know that the energy of the crown, the energy of the third eye, the throat chakra are awakened. They are also centered around understanding these cosmic connections. I would definitely work with those chakras, and I would also practice some sound energy around this time. It could be listening to one of my podcasts. I have tons of podcasts on sound energy, and also energy around full moons, energies around the chakras. So definitely look at those areas of meditation. I would like to see more meditation from the air signs. And with these meditations, I would also want you to do some breath work right before, and allowing that energy to be aligned with the universe, taking in the universe's air and allowing it to speak to you, to hold your presence, to hold your area of movement, and to hold the energy of clearing and allowing the clearing to take place. So I want to thank everybody. And I will say I will post the photos of this reading. Do not get over exhilarated by the cards, right? Some of these cards might feel a little spooky, might feel a little scary, might feel a little bit sad. But remember that everything that has occurred, that has been centered around, has moved us in the energy of justice, in the energy of trauma, in the energy of grief, embarrassment, shameful, whatever. Allow this time for the full moon to release it. Allow this time to understand that there's unconditional cosmic connections with all of us. And there's a time that we speak on it. There's a time that we move from it. Definitely use this full moon to create intentions really around the chakras that I said, and also the chakras for each sign that I read. But definitely remember, with the throat chakra, we're going to want to introduce humming, chanting, having that vocal release, not just the energy of the breath work. Also, we're going to want to definitely use that energy of movement with the heart chakra and building trust, and the root chakra for understanding that we are safe. And while the judgment is coming to others, the justice and the judgment of what has occurred, the universe sees, and allowing the universe to have that judgment. And if we've been living in an era that hasn't felt truly aligned with us, that hasn't felt truly aligned with our soul message, it is time for us to really see that, to see that movement, to see that clarity, and allow that clarity to release as we can control all our own transformations, and as we can allow the heart activation of trust of who it is that we are. So I want to thank everybody for listening to this podcast. Please do me a huge favor as an area of gratitude. Please follow this channel, share this channel, and like this channel, and give me a rating. It helps me find, and it helps others find us and become part of this collective and be part of this energy, of this consciousness. And it helps me move up the podcast ladder. Don't forget to share this podcast with your witchy bestie. And everybody have an amazing full moon in Libra. Bye.